So right now with us on the stage, we have Bartosz and who are you?
No one.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
I'm joking because we know each other because we are
Yeah.
running Cloud Native Krakow.
For some
Maciej
time.
from VirtusLab, our next sponsor today. So we had 3 already, and you will tell about some gems.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
So the stage is yours. Please welcome our colleagues.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hello. I'm Mac, and I'm joined with Bartosz. We are cloud engineers at VirtusLab. And today we want to talk about Kubernetes hidden gems, 3 features that you probably didn't know about.
So the first one is the pod deletion cost. So did you ever have a problem that the Kubernetes deleted the incorrect pod? For example, the pod which has a warm cache, or the pod was handling the important request, or maybe the pod was processing the important background job. So why this happens? Internally, Kubernetes decides which pods to delete based on the pod status, based on the number of pods per node, and the pod age. But it does not know the application logic. And we can change that. So the pod deletion cost is a basic annotation which we can add to the pod. And it has a numeric value. The logic is very simple. The lower the value, the sooner the pod will be deleted. We can change this value dynamically or manually during the application lifecycle, for example, from the CLI or from the API, and where we can use it. For example, when we are creating our custom controller, which manages the workloads, it knows which pods are idle and decides that those pods have to be removed sooner. Or we can even play with the custom draining and decide which pods and when will be deleted.
Okay, some custom role aggregation. Okay, so what's the problem? So let's say you write custom controller that needs to read all the Kubernetes resources, and someone installs Prometheus operator, and your controller breaks. Someone installs KCD, your controller breaks, or someone installs Istio, also your controller breaks. So why is that? The issue is that when you create the cluster role permissions for your operator, basic one, you add permissions for the pods, services, etc., and the basic API, Kubernetes. And the operator installs new CRDs, and your controller cannot see those new resources, cannot access them. So you have to manually add those roles, update it every time. And it's completely unmanageable at scale. So what we can do about it? So while creating the permissions, we do it regularly, add the rules as usual, but additionally, we add the label that we'll use later on with this aggregation rule. So what we do? As always, also, we create regular rule, but instead of writing rules, we add additional block aggregation rule when we point out that to use this roles with those labels that we previously created, and we leave rules empty. And Kubernetes magically fills them up without our action. So what are the benefits? So different teams can contribute different permissions. They just need to add the label. The controllers stay functional as the new CRDs are added. And the operator can self-register the permission.
The last thing which we want to discuss today is the kubectl debug. So did you ever have a problem and want to debug a destroyer's container? Or maybe a container which is constantly restarting? Or maybe we are trying to debug something on the production environment and we don't have necessary debug tools installed. So the problem, destroyer's containers does not have a shell, so we cannot easily access them. Containers can restart too quickly and we don't have time to play with it to check the problem. Or maybe the containers basically does not have necessary debug tools installed and we don't want to change those images to include those debug tools. The solution is to use the kubectl debug, which basically attach temporary debug container to our running pod. It has 3 main modes available: First one is to attach temporary container to our running pod, where we can access the application and check the status. We can copy the problematic pod to, let's say, new place and safely play with it without the disturbing the application. And the last fancy one, we can debug the whole node from a pod. So at the host path, we can access the whole file system and check what is going on the node. Inside the container, we can, for example, check the list of processes, check the environment variable which the application is using, access the whole file system, including the mounted volumes, check the network connectivity, and much more. Main benefits is that the application works without any kind of disruptions. We can just debug it, debug the running pods as it is. We can access any kind of toolings basically by changing the container, the image type for the debug container. When we finish, the container is just removed and the whole solution is production safe. We can use it anywhere we want.
Okay, so our key takeaways from our talk. So, with the pod deletion cost, you can easily control the behavior while scaling down. With aggregation rules, you can easily create self-managing airbag roles. And with the kubectl debug, you can easily troubleshoot even production environment without breaking stuff. And it's all built in, no external tools are required. So it's really nice for the air-gap environments and highly regulated ones. Enjoy. Any questions?
Big applause, yes. And now we have 3.5 minutes to just stay here and look at you on the stage.
Or look
in silence.
No.
So, folks, first of all, thank you very much for your talk. If you have any questions to VirtusLab or to the talk or whatever, go to VirtusLab booth. They are somewhere there. They will be happy to answer to your questions. If they know the answer, if they don't know, they will not be that happy. But we'll see.
We know all the answers.
Yes, they know all the answers.
We are next to the coffee, so.
So yes, you have the best answer then.
Yeah.
Right. So now is the time for lunch finally, and the lunch you can find the signs directing you to the lunch. If you found the space here, you will find the lunch as well. And we meet together in the rooms at 1:15.
Yeah.
So we start.
Like if you don't have any place to eat, there's like you can go around the corner. There's more spaces.
Exactly. Exactly. So find a place. You for sure you will find.
Yeah.
And what I didn't say, because you have this like strange T-shirt right now. Maciek is also the co-organizer of this event. So yeah, big applause to guys again.
Brawo, panie Bartosz.